Okay, stop.
Special Agent Johnson?
No
No
relations.
relation.
In this setting, I have Baruch Sudagurski,
Hey, hello, hello.
and my name is Viktor Gamov, and today we're going to be hosting this impromptu stream slash recording where we're going to be hacking around some tools. Whole premise of this show, podcast, live stream, or whatever you like to call it these days. I don't know what you kids calling this these days. Is us to embarrass ourselves in front of the public and also learning new tools and showing you some of the cool features that we found interesting and hopefully you also will find interesting. Baru,
Yes,
what,
sir.
what are we showing today and what brought us here today? Like
Okay,
why it is important?
yeah, what are we showing today is this. Now, you
Okay.
might ask yourself, what is this egg? And since Victor, you actually produced this egg, you tell us what are we looking at.
Actually, it is a AI representation of a smart bulb. I wanted to have a simulator of a physical hardware that we have, and this physical hardware is a smart bulb. We were building a demo that demonstrates how the agents can understand um, very obscure in not obscure, very interesting and not publicly commonly used APIs. So we decide to stick with the small bulb. Now, we love to play around with hardware, especially if it's at home. We have the lab set up, like our all our hardware is set up in smart hubs and stuff like that. But when we need to go and travel to the conferences, we need to have this hardware somehow used to show the demo. So one of the exercises for me learning new tools were okay. Now we're traveling with the hardware, but it's also cumbersome to set this up all the time. How about I will build a simulator? Thankfully, that this light bulb has API published. It's a REST API. Apart from other things that are available in this small bulb, we're going to be using this very cool device called Shelly bulb. And yeah, I built a simulator of this API. So our application that our agent will be building needs to talk to the simulator. And when we will be ready to show this on the real hardware, what we need to do is just substitute IP address, and it
Here you go. Yeah,
ideally
exactly.
should be working.
Yeah. And thank you for building this simulator because it's obviously much easier to show during a live stream than actually showing a real bulb. So we're going to use this simulator. And as you already understood, the goal of today's exercise is write a small web app that will control the small bulb. There are a couple of interesting caveats here. The first is, and I think the most interesting, is that this light bulb, although very convenient to show because it's controlled with a very simple API, you can see it here. It's just basically the endpoint is a light with ID of the light, and then we command turn it on and put it red full scale. I probably should actually write this, right? Turn on red 255. Let's see if that works. Well, not exactly. Did I do something wrong? And okay. Turn on and red 255. Let's try it now. Still doesn't work. Okay, we'll get to it in a second.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it uses right endpoint. As a matter of fact, you check if you're using light 0 endpoint.
Yeah. It is. It is maybe color. Here we go. Here we go. Perfect. All right. So yeah, it works. So this is what we're going to do. And this, what I was saying is that this light bulb, although it has a very nice REST API, which is very easy to use, it's also not very well known. It doesn't have a GitHub repo that the coding models and coding agents could learn from. It doesn't have like a very easily discoverable documentation. I would say it's a pretty obscure library. And this is the interesting part of today's stream. How can we teach an AI agent to use the right documentation for a library that is not very easily discoverable, instead of yelling it and trying to invent an API? And trust us, we tried it that way. So basically, if you just ask it to use Shelly Lightbulb API, it will invent something that looks like plausible API, but
Yep.
obviously does not exist. Decide to itself that this is the right way, and then starting hammering and trying to fix and make it work by throwing assumptions about like, oh, this is coarse headers problem. We need to add coarse headers and this kind of stuff, and spinning endlessly, wasting your time, wasting your money, making you very upset about it not being able to do so. So we're going to use a couple of techniques that will teach our agent on what it should actually use.
Hmm.
So
And
yeah.
one of the things that, if you've seen our previous presentations, we were swear by the MCP documentation servers. In this particular case, the Context 7 was a saver. And but one of the things that we can you open the Context 7 a little quick before we jump in?
Yes.
So I want to show something that if you're looking for Shelly in this Context 7 repository, uh, you can trigger this one more time. Maybe it's
No,
not.
no, I have it. I have it the right thing.
You have it on the speed dial.
Yes, because that's a demo that we do a
Yeah.
lot. Yes, so
So
it's
as you can
right
see here, there's a Shelly API
here.
a raw LLMs txt file 6 months ago, and it has a red dot, which is kind of
It
like
didn't work. Yeah.
why?
No, no, that was one of my first attempts to do that. We actually did it differently, and then it did
Can
work.
you see this in
It's called Shelly Cloud. Let's see. Maybe it's called Shelly Cloud.
can you see from your account? Oh, you didn't sign up. So sometimes when you submit, you can see this in your account.
Yeah, yeah, no, but what's the fun in that? We wanna show how
Yeah.
everybody can use it.
Shell
Shelly
Hub.
Shelly API. Well,
That's weird. It used to be there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I don't know. Maybe they cleaned it up or something. But you know what? Let's sign in. I think I use GitHub. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe. Libraries.
No.
No. Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, that was one way to do it. The interesting part about Context 7 is, let's try to do that, is that you can actually add libraries to it. But
apparently we're actually streaming.
Okay, where
Okay,
on?
That's embarrassing.
Okay.
We're streaming on the right channel. We have someone didn't go and me. I didn't go. I did go and didn't click don't stream, but that's okay.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. So what I wanted to say, that's a good stream for whatever it streams. No downside. We will stream it in the right place later. So yeah, so Context 7. Obviously, you see, kind of we wanted to show how great it is, but I think we accidentally showed you one of the downsides, right? It's not really kind of properly organized in terms of, hey, those are the libraries that I maintain. There is also not. No notion of like a private spaces for libraries that I want to share, but they're maybe not. I want my agent to be able to work with, but maybe they are not open source, so they shouldn't be public. Like, for example, my organizational libraries, etc., etc. And I believe that there is a better way, and this better way is Tesla.io.
Okay.
Yep. So Tesla.io does
Do we
something
have an assumption
similar.
that the people already saw your previous version, or at least read your blog post about this, so we don't need to repeat ourselves every time?
I can introduce it in one sentence, right?
Okay.
Right. So basically, what we do is we make our agents smarter by providing them reusable context, and this reusable context lives in a Tesla registry. And as you can see here, if I will log in, I can see that I have workspaces, and they might be public or private or whatever I decide. And in a workspace called Shelly Cloud, you will see a tile that is the Shelly Gen 1 API.
Okay.
So this is the reusable piece of content that we will teach our agent to use.
Mm-hmm. So essentially, a tile. What is the difference between There's so many things right now. There's skills. There's workflows. There are rules. Now we have a tile. So what's the difference? What's all of this about?
This is a great question. A tile is reusable piece of context, which
Mm-hmm.
means it can be documentation in case
Mm-hmm.
of our light bulb API documentation. It can be skill or collection of skills packed as tile. It can be rules, scripts, and a kind of what we tell agent to do. All those or any combination of those can be something that you pack as a tile and make it shareable, reusable, versionable, controllable, governable, whatever
Is
a
it the word
bull
like a
you like.
versionable?
Of course, there is a version. There is the word versionable. I'm not sure about governable, but versionable is
Yeah, I
definitely
think
a
I
word.
think you have a you have a like a sweet spot for you have like a soft spot for this type of stuff, kind of like some sort of artifacts that can be shared, right? So
Uh,
you think you find the next big thing for you after like Bintray and the
absolutely.
Artifactory.
Absolutely. And it's obviously critical for us to share those pieces of context, and we're going to show it.
Let's see it. Show me what it looked like, so the people will understand.
The
What's
tile,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you have in the tile itself is a bunch of, and this is a documentation tile, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it provides documentation of how to use this API. So it
Mm-hmm.
has a README, which is like obviously for humans to read, and we can see here what this tile is, right? And it's bunch of technical documentation and agent steering rules, how to use those APIs. The scope, what's in scope and what's not. Gen 1 is, Gen 2 is not. And this is like, we can obviously decide what will be the right scope for our tile, something again that Context 7 does not have. Context
Yeah.
7 uh, guesses by
Everything.
itself
Yeah.
what should be the
Everything is
scope,
there.
and it's usually like too large. And you know what's the downside of having too large piece of context?
Yes, we do have a context rot. We have hallucinations. Some it depends on the model. What kind of problems would we have?
We're going to
Sometimes
blow the context window. That's
i-
that's the main
it's
problem, right?
yeah.
So
And
yeah,
interesting thing here, like we have explicitly we for this particular demo, we wanted to keep this simple, so that's why we explicitly not gonna use any advanced features of this light bulb, even though it might be interesting for us to explore in 2026, right? So because uh, the rest is easy to explain. That's why we're using like what they called API version 1 or like
yeah. So we're
Mhm.
using version 1. So if anyway, even if we used version 2, I would definitely do a version 2 tile, which is separate from this one, to limit the size of context that we need to feed to our agent.
Makes sense.
And then it will choose the right piece of context based on what it used, instead of loading both and adding more context to the context window, which is, as we know, limited. Okay, so as we said, docs and steering, and we have two directories here. Docs describing what it is, and you can see here index is the main entry point for our agent, and it will learn about how to use it, and we will navigate the sub pages as needed. And then steering is a bunch of rules of what to do, naming how things should be named, error handling, discovery and safety, auth and secrets, all this is packed as a reusable piece of context.
Okay, so
Okay.
let's go with how we're gonna be using this. So we already like 15 minutes in, and okay, a new beast. Why we want to do this?
All right. Okay.
Why are
So
you doing this to us?
yes. So another piece of context for us humans before we dig into agent actually doing this is a procedure. All right.
Hmm.
So we all know what vibe coding is. We throw agent a task and assume it will do it, and we all know the downsides of vibe coding. We actually have a chasm between what it's in our head, the desired end result, and the actual end result, and there is nothing to control, to steer, to oversee the process that is between what's in our head and what's in the code. That's kind of the downside of vibe coding, and this downside will never be fixed because whatever smart the agent is, it won't be able to get into your head, well, unless it connects with Neuralink, but not for any foreseeable future, to guess what you really wanted. In order to capture your intent properly and make sure that the agent is going to do what we want it to do, we are using spec driven development.
Hmm.
And if you saw our previous episode or read my blog about it, you already know what it is. And what we want to show you today is another framework that implements spec driven development, that it's called SpecKit. As you can see by the organization here, it is from GitHub, directly from GitHub. And what it does is, after we install it, is actually provides us with a bunch of slash commands that that create a process for spec driven development.
So
We can see,
we are using Cloud Code, right, today?
yes, we're using Cloud Code, and we will have SpecKit supports tons of different agents. You can see here there is a list which is more than 10, all the popular ones, including Codex, Gemini CLI, Claude Code, Kilocode, Quen, Rue, and Windsurf, obviously, and a bunch of others. And what we can see here is the life cycle. Where is it? Here is the life cycle of spec driven development as SpecKit assumes it. There are stages. The first is establishing a constitution. I love this term. I love how perfect it is for this particular implementation, because constitution is exactly what it is. It's
Yep.
a set of governing principles and development guidelines that rest of the process must adhere. It doesn't have stuff like what
Can
exactly
we
you're trying
also
to
have
solve.
amendments here?
Yes, of course, and notifications and the whole shebang. I love it. Um,
No
I
pun intended.
always,
No, I
when
mean
I
like pun
type like,
intended.
yeah, when I type like SpecKit Constitution, I imagine myself sitting with a wig in the
There's
Constitution,
bald
in the,
eagle, a bald eagle. There's
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah, yeah.
flag behind you. So like Constitution.
Exactly. Sitting in the Continental Congress in Philadelphia and debating what the Constitution should be. Love it. Love the term. Love the concept. Perfect. And not what we want to build, not which tech we're going to use. The principle, the governing principles, right? That's great. Specify the next step is what we actually want to build. We describe what we want to build and what the main idea. And then we get into the details. Plan is about technical planning. What stack are we using? Are we using Java? Are we using JavaScript? What frameworks? Is it Spring Boot? Is it Quarkus? Is it whatever the cool kids in JavaScript do those days, right? This kind of stuff. After this is done, we are we are down to tasks. Tasks is the breakdown of each and every step of implementation. And then eventually implement is where our agent is going to do that, which is amazing. There are also a set of additional commands that I also love that we can do on top of that. Clarify will go through we do it before plan. We'll do
Hmm.
it through spec and that it's already written and analyze if there are any gaps. It's going to ask you additional questions for the gaps that it doesn't know, and then we can run analyze, and that will be right before implement. Analyze will do a cross analysis uh, through all the steps, finding those gaps between different steps. And then eventually we can run checklist that will go ahead and check that it actually did what we asked it to do. I think the concept is great. I love it. I love it so much that in the next episode of our stream, I will show you how I took spec it even further and implemented it in skills and Tessel tile.
And
But
yeah,
that's
and
like
also
for
like
next one.
in a contrast, Bart very excited about this framework, and I'm excited about another framework, also in the spec driven space. It's called OpenSpec. The problem with this, they just updated everything. I just it's like yesterday it was not there. Today is like absolutely we introduced new workflow based on the agent skills, and now I need to
So they did it. This is what I did
yes,
with SpecKit. I did the same
they
idea of
throw away
workflow with
everything,
skills.
and now they saying that okay, so you just go and update your existing and it says like updating to a new open spec. So stay tuned. I love this space. In this case, kind of like thankfully they didn't change it like the night before we do presentation next week.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. All right. So we have everything installed, and we're just going to get started. I go here, and then I can just do init. I already created a directory, so we're going to init it in this library. So I do specify or specify. I have no idea. Init in this directory. And then I need to choose my AI assistant. It will be Claude Code, and we are working with Shell and not PowerShell. And what it did actually is it created, or you know what? Let's do this. Here we go. We don't need the agent right now. What I did now is created two directories, Claude and specify or specify. In Claude, it created a bunch of prompts that or instructions for Claude that Claude will use, and in specify it created a placeholder for constitution and other artifacts that will be our project memory, and a bunch of scripts that the agent will run to, for example, enforce that previous requirements were fulfilled, that we have the artifacts that needs to happen, etc., etc. So this is what happened on init, and now we are ready to dive in.
Hmm.
So let me start Claude in YOLO mode, and you know what YOLO mode is.
Is a dash dash dangerously.
Dangerously skip permissions or something like that. Um,
That's it's funny. It's funny alias. Yeah, love it.
yeah. Okay. So now when we have a Claude, we can start using the slash commands. And here are the slash commands that are provided from this Claude directory, and those are exactly our steps to run our SpecKit. So we're going to start with SpecKit specify. That's kind of the entry point. So specify will ask me what I want to build. I hope. Yes, I'll help you create a feature specification using SpecKit. I noticed this feature description appear to be empty. Let's check if there are any content it didn't find. And now please describe the feature you want to specify. Okay, so let's build a web app that controls a smart IoT bulb, color bulb, right? We want to take the color from our webcam, and that would be what the main color on the matrix, whatever it's called, and send it and change the bulb color to it. That's the basics, right? That's what actually we need. Agreed?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I think we need to also save this type of prompt somewhere, so we can, when we're going to be showing the two different tools, so it will be, consistently using the same.
Yeah,
You don't have
Okay.
to do this right now. We do.
No,
We do
I'll
have
just
this
I'll
prompt. We just need to have this in front of.
yeah, I'll just put
Um,
it in a clipboard and then we'll do stuff. Okay. So well, why do you ask me? Didn't okay, the YOLO alias didn't work. Okay.
okay. Try to dash inside the cloud.
I don't think it will work inside it, but it's fine.
Inside you can tell it. Yeah, you can do this.
All right, okay.
Run this with where is it? I'm
Okay, so
looking
what you can
for.
see now is that it actually runs bunch of scripts from specify folder. Stuff like create new feature, create new branch, and this kind of stuff. Those are all instructed inside the um, inside specify command. And those are instructed to do like open a new branch, create a new branch in Git, come up with a good name for it using LLM, and all this kind of stuff, right? So this is what it does. So now it writes our feature specification. So let's see how that goes. Um,
And also, it would be good to have a. I know that we have a debate about ID or ID less, but just show something. Show some code that it actually generates something
for
in
now, it doesn't generate any code, obviously.
error writing file. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but even when it will be, it will still be markdown files. It will be a while until we actually get to the code because obviously, as we know, writing code is no more. It's not the challenge anymore. The
Mm-hmm.
challenge is overcoming the intent to code chasm. The challenge is making sure that the agent captured our intent fully before it actually gets writing code. And all those steps that we are going to do are going to happen for this particular reason, for capturing the intent. Okay, I have a mismatch between the themes of the terminal and theme of Claude Code. So once it's done, I'm going to switch it to the bright theme and it will look better. So now it actually writes the spec, and we're going to review it once it is done. Okay, here we go. Let's see what happened. So that's our summary. Okay, specification complete. It created a branch and gave it a reasonable name, created the spec file, and have a checklist of requirements what need to happen.
Where did you put the creating branch? Is it something that Claude Code decided itself, or
It's not what Claude Code decided. It's what SpecKit forced it to do.
Oh,
So
okay.
one of the things that are here in the scripts is a script for creating a new feature. And this script is actually going and creating a branch, a Git branch for each and every feature we are working at.
Mm-hmm.
And the prompt that we have here in .claude, the command, the specify, will force the agent or will strongly urge the agent to run this script. And that's exactly what happened. Oh, we forgot our constitution. Oh my God, how did we? I spoke so high about constitution and completely forget about it. Okay, so a couple of things before we do that. I wanted to switch the theme. to light, and you said dash dash will work. How that will work? Settings, config, or maybe what it was, permissions. No, this ask deny workspace.
I'm pretty sure.
No, I don't see it here. Okay, never mind. I will just do approve. Okay, so we managed to forget constitution. That was a very bad thing. So let's get back to constitution, and then look what happened. I will help to create project constitution. Let me start by loading the template. Remember, we had a template. It read the template, and now it's going to adjust according to our preferences. What it's going to do is going to ask us questions, what is more important for us, and then formalize it as a constitution. So let's see what happens. About principles, here we go. The core principles should govern the project. Let me suggest defaults. And we want, I guess, standard 5 principles. Let's see what principles it will suggest, and then we will see what we can choose as the 5 governing principles. Okay. What should be the project name for the constitution? Doesn't matter. Shelly Bulbsync. Should testing be non-negotiable principle? What do you say, Victor?
Testing, yeah. In the demo, yes, we can not necessarily need to have it.
Yeah, I said yes. Okay. Okay, submit answers. Okay, so I said that we want test-driven development, and now it creates a constitution with 5 principles that it thinks that it's right. I kind of surprised that it didn't ask more. I would expect it to ask me for more principles, but let's see what it come up with. And we can always just go ahead and edit it, right? In the end of the day, it's just a markdown file. So it's going to write it down, and then we will just see it in Visual Studio. Here, this is our constitution. So this is the template, and now, boom, you actually saw it live. Oops, sorry, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do this. And you just saw how it switched live to a B. Come on, I want to close it. Yeah, here we go. This is what we see, right? Core principle, real-time responsiveness. I don't know. Local first architecture. All communication occurs over local network, it's fine. Test-driven development, that's what we asked. User experience first. Okay. Simplicity of all features, yes, we love it. Technical standards, target, device communication, code quality, development workflow, etc., etc. So you know what? This is over complication for our tasks. So what we can do is we can do spec it constitution, simplify to 3 principles. Those will be TDD, demo, simplicity, and what else? UI. Modern,
nice looking UI.
Modern UX UI, right? Here we go. Let's see how it will deal with our request to change the constitution. And that will be, so that will be like, not an amendment, it should be like a complete rewrite because it's such a huge change. Ratified, you see? Amendments, certifications, all the nice stuff. You hear the bald eagle screeching?
Yes, but it also feels a little bit too enterprising. And it comes from Microsoft. I understand this, but also it comes from GitHub.
What do you mean? The entire concept of constitution?
Yeah. Like all the concept of too many moving parts. I know it's kind of like initial step is always like hardest, and the smooth sailing after. But still, kind of like I'm trying to be like a developer,
devil's advocate. I would disagree. You will see how throughout the process, every step is forced to check itself against Constitution. And this solves tons of this. Hey, why did you do that? Oh, because, I forgot what are we even doing stuff, right? This always coming back to foundation principles, very useful for a country, but also very useful for AI agents.
Mhm.
And now we simplified it, and you see how it is test-driven development, demo simplicity, and modern UX UI. This is all we ask, right? There is no more. Now we're back to very simple step. Okay, now when we got the constitution ready, we have our specify task that we already did the specification. The only thing is now we have a constitution, right?
Mhm.
Uh, So all I want to do is I want to check that our spec, and we're going to look at it in a second, is actually adheres to our constitution. And this is where the magic happens. It's going to go through our specification, and we're going to throw away stuff that does not adhere. For example, complexity, right, and this kind of stuff. You see, it adds some requirements, it removes other requirements, and it actually makes sure that those three principles that were very easy for us to come up with are now expressed through our specification, which I think is really cool. And we can see here, where's our specification? It's in specs. We have a new folder called specs, and then
Mhm.
we have a new spec, and this is our spec MD. Again, we can look at the preview here and see what's going on. So we have a feature branch, and we have user scenarios and testing. Live color sync from webcam. This is the most important thing. This is priority one. This is the core value proposition of the application, which is nice. And then it goes through acceptance scenarios. What else? Connection setup, also kind of important. Manual color override. That's a nice to have feature that it came by itself. Why not? Webcam preview display. This is important. So this is, and then bunch of edge cases. Very simplistic, exactly what we need. Adherence to constitution, and then requirements formalized in functional requirements and key entries and success criteria. This is like a proper software specification document. I love it. Okay, we are done with spec. Now we can do two things. We can do spec it clarify, or we can just go ahead and do planning. Obviously, we want the clarify functionality. So we run clarify and see what gaps it will find. Again, there is script to run. This script will check that the specification already exists. There is something to clarify. Otherwise, it will fail with like, hey, there is nothing to clarify, and that quit. But now it found the prerequisites, and here we
Mhm.
go. Here are the questions that is asked us. All right. So the spec mentioned devices, but Shelly has multiple bulb color with different APIs? That's a great question. Which should we use? And we know which should we use. We should use Shelly Duo red, green, black, white, but Gen
Gen
1.
1.
Remember, we spoke about that. So I do actually a different answer, and my answer will be Shelly Duo Gen 1, right? This is what we want. Here we go. It recorded, it went, and it actually will change the specification, which is, you see, it changes the functional requirements, which is perfect.
Yeah.
It found something that we didn't speak about, and it asked clarification about it. Love it. Okay, let's see next question. Initial sync state after connection. When user successfully connects and grant permission, should color sync start automatically or wait for manual activation? For a demo, immediate wow factor when everything connects creates the best impression. This is what it would recommend. I think we are good with this recommendation. So,
So, and this stuff comes from specification.
What
how they formulate the questions.
this comes from those prompts, right? So this it comes from those commands.
Mhm,
So clarify here will go and describe how those questions can asked
mhm.
should be asked, right? So it says like load the spec file, perform structure ambiguity coverage, and then ask the question in this particular format. Okay, we actually had only two clarifying questions, and now it says, okay, go ahead and do spec it plan. So let's do a spec it plan. Plan? Yes, plan. Plan will be um, technical plan. So if
Mhm.
we want to give it advices on what technology we prefer to use, what frameworks, what languages, this will be the place and time. Do you have any preferences, Victor?
I don't care. Like we use what? Like we use Spring Boot for demo.
If we don't care, we don't care.
We
We
don't care. No, I
just
mean
do
like make
bum.
sure it's Java.
No,
As long as
I
it's
don't
Java.
know. Too late.
Okay.
Well, obviously, I'm just kidding. We can always go ahead and change it. But let's see what. Oops, what did I do? Let's see what it comes up with.
What
What
it will
it comes
suggest.
up with.
Mhm.
Yep, it will probably be some hipsterish JavaScript stuff.
I'm wondering how they come up with this.
Oh, that's just pre-training. That's just their bias towards what they know best.
The Node.js stuff. So I was building small demo application. I will share next time.
Mhm.
And it started as a I was chatting with it's actually pretty cool how it's happened. I chatting with Claude Desktop about explain me this specifically. I'm trying to come up with good example of the very specific. It's a Flink changelog modes and how I would explain this during presentation, and
Yep.
ask it to, okay, can you just like outline me what would slides would look like, or how would the animation would look like for explaining this, because it's kind of like a messages comes in, I need to show how this would be represented in memory stuff. So instead of this, Claude Desktop built me a whole application. So it showed me, kind of like interactive slides. I was like, okay, so I'll take this and run with it. So I took this example, and after that, I built whole website out of it. And now I am in weeds of JavaScript programming in Node.js and stuff, because I need to, as you know, modern JavaScript also requires builds and tests and
Ah,
stuff.
this is why you asked about bun. Well,
That's why I'm asking
condolences.
about Bun.
Yes.
Bun, how it's related to our conversation. Bun was recently purchased by Anthropic,
Oh wow.
and
Ah, yeah, yeah. I
Bun
saw the news.
is
Yes, yes.
actively used in the Claude Code as a build tool. It's not only build tool; it's runtime. It's kind of a whole shebang of the things. You can even run things like it has a built-in like Redis support, built-in WebSocket support. It's pretty neat, and it's faster. And you know what? Why it's faster? Uh, do you just give me crazy idea?
But obviously, but there it's simplicity to the max and skipped a bunch of important stuff that
No,
other
no, no, no.
dependency
It's you
managers do.
should the answer always in 2026 should be it's written in Rust.
Ah,
Um,
right, right. Of
yeah,
course.
but
Yes,
actually it's
yes,
written not in
yes.
Rust. It's written in Zig. It's even much more cooler.
Yep.
And they opt out of using a V8, so they're not using V8. They're using JavaScript core from Safari.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. Oh yeah.
so uh, hipster kids would love this. Super low level, super fast. Zig is a new cool programming language for system coding. Um, everyone forgot about Rust and Go.
Okay, okay, okay. Now, what it does now, our agent, it actually tries to determine the best technical stack for the problem that we want to solve, and then to plan how it's going to solve those problems using this stack. And this is exactly where smart context management and context engineering comes into play. So this is exactly where we need to give it the context that might be not easily accessible. So I will let it run the research that it does by itself, but then we're going to improve it by providing it context from TESOL registry. So you see, it's very happy with the results that it found. It says that it found all the technical details, and now it creates a research MD that will incorporate the details of this research and then proceed with the actual plan. So let's see what it comes up. What did it come up with? If you watch the screen, well, Victor took us through his journey on JavaScript suffering. You might saw that it went through a bunch of blog posts and like Medium articles and what's not in order to find how to use it correctly. And frankly, I am not sure it actually found the right thing. And this is why, as a safety net, we
Mhm.
are going to use a TESOL. So it creates data model and contracts, and now it will create a plan. Let's see what's going on in our repo. So we have some contracts created, well, directory for contracts created, and we have the research that is talking about what is the API. Let's do preview. What is the API? Whoops, sorry, closed the wrong thing. Here, what is the API? How it should be accessed, etc., etc. Right? Course considerations, obviously, that we are not interested, but that's what we spoke about. How it gets into the weeds of stuff that it really shouldn't. Dominant calling instruction, right? On how to calculate the caller that we spoke about. Front-end framework, what we're going to use. We're going to use vanilla JavaScript with modern ES modules, whatever it means.
ECMAScript, or yes, ECMAScript.
And then it's going to talk about UI, which UI should we use, what alternatives were considered, etc., etc. So that's pretty cool. What are we doing here? Okay, it builds the plan. So here it is. Here is our plan. And again, we can see here the preview. And that's for now, this is how it starts, right? And you can see here the constitution check that we need to adhere to our constitution principles, documentation, source code, where it's going to get complexity tracking, because you remember we said that we wanted simply simple, so it's going to track the complexity and then flag it as violations if it gets into the woods too much. Okay, so what's going on? It runs the script that forces it to recheck it with the constitution. And now I think it is done, right? So that's what it did. It has the plan, the research, the data model, the contracts, browser APIs, quick start, etc., etc. And it says that's the technical stack, okay? Which is really cool. Now I want to use TESOL registry to get the right tiles for our technical stack, and then recheck the plan using this new context. So let's init TESOL in this project. This will add, oh, come on.
Naming is hard.
Yep. Just run TESOL in it. It's not that hard. Okay, perfect. And now, using TESOL MCP, bring the relevant tessel tiles for the
It's already doing
selected.
some. No?
Yeah, it updates the tessel JSON to the right project names and what's not. Nice. Using tessel MCP, bring the relevant tessel tiles for the selected tech stack and APIs. And then, okay, let's start with that. So it's gonna search for the right information pieces and we'll bring it. Look what happened.
It's found your tile.
It found the Shelly Cloud tile. Yep.
And now it will be writing stuff in Python or in PM color. Oh, okay, let's see.
Yep.
Vita.
Well,
okay.
Yeah.
Full blown. Ignored your vanilla JavaScript stuff.
Well, it's test. It's
Okay, so
you remember we do TDD.
it will be using their like build tool, Vite build tool.
Yeah, and test. Yep.
All right, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Those are just styles, right? It doesn't. This is what we do is we just bring context for the selected stack. We are not writing any code. So yeah, okay. So it installed all our tiles, and we can see in our repository that we have now tile JSON with installed dependencies. It installed the Shelly Cloud and then vtest and vita as a build tool. This is what it found for the stack because it's all vanilla, so it doesn't have any additional like libraries or something like that. Okay, titles are available. Perfect. Now and now I do plan again, and I'm saying that now when you have a context in tessel tiles, verify the plan against this context. Okay, so now it's going to check that whatever it found on Medium articles on how to use Shelly API is actually how you use Shelly API by using the information from the source. Oh, it misses the discovery flow. Okay, we actually want to skip discovery, right? We want to actually type in the IP for the bulb. It was never discovered. It was never discussed. So we actually need it to make sure that this is what happens. It found a bunch of other issues based on documentation, which is nice. And now it's going to fix it. What we're going to do is I can prepare the prompt now is demo simplicity.
Yeah, so still.
Yeah, no, it's doing the right thing for because kind of it makes sense that it wants to do discovery. It's just we don't need it, and it won't work anyway because of this.
We know how it works. Yeah, we know it requires a little bit of juggling with picking up right interfaces and stuff like that.
Yeah. Because what is local network is a complicated question, and it particularly won't work for the simulator because it uses non-standard port of AT&T discovery. It won't work over there. So discovery definitely not going to work. Okay. The last thing that we're going to change in our plan is skip the discovery. You're absolutely right. I'm wearing the wrong T-shirt. I have a T-shirt that says "You're absolutely right," and it should be the right T-shirts for this kind of work. Um, okay, it now changes the plan again, which is fine. That's exactly what we need. Okay, now take a look at this note right here on our right. Context left until auto compact is 9%. What does it mean? It means that we are running of our context window. The
Hmm.
beauty of having this process properly laid down and documented is that we are not dependent on our context window for our knowledge. Without spec driven development, and you might remember that from our last stream, when I cleared the window and got back in, it has absolutely no idea what we are
Yeah,
doing.
that's the most annoying and most frustrating. And even kind of for the experienced people, I had a conversation today with a coworker, and he was like, "Okay, so how this work? Because I start new session, that's now I need to go from all this crap once again, over and over again."
Look at
Um,
this magic.
yeah,
I'm going to kill the context window. Are you ready for it? Boom.
uh, and I
Now our
think
Claude has no idea what's going on. But this is not an issue. I can continue exactly where we stopped. And we did the plan. So next, we're going to do tasks as nothing happened. It will discover what's going on by using the commands in the spec kit to realize where is it, what steps were taken, what steps are still pending, and what it actually needs to do. Magic.
no, that's magic. It's just like very smart ways to um, you instructed this. Stop using the word magic.
The interesting part here is that although it works very well, adherence to the process and checking back the constitution and all that, using the slash commands and the prompts, it it works much better when it's actually implemented using skills. The adherence to constitution, knowing where it is and what it needs to do, is significantly improved once we switched from prompts to skills. And again, as a spoiler for one of our next episodes, when I will show you the similar process done in skills, you will see how much compliant to the process and to the existing artifacts the entire process becomes.
Okay, so what is happening right now?
Right now, it is actually writing tasks. Right, that was our next step. So inside our specs directory, now we have tasks. Now we have tasks document, and this document specifies what needs to be done with the relationship to the right requirements in our spec by using our plan, right? So you can see here what is going to happen: the setup, and then foundational, what task needs to be done, implementing stuff, and then it's going to each and every user story, implementing it one by one. User story one, user story three, user story four, etc., etc. Right? And those checkboxes are going to be checked as we are going to start to implement. Okay, let's see. The tasks are ready. We have 62 tasks broken by phases, setup, foundational, and then bunch of user stories with the number of tasks for each and every one of them. And then we can see here broken by user story, by what can be run in parallel, of course, and what should be done. Okay, it asks what should be mandatory and what should be optional, suggested MVP scope, and then it also validates by using the script the format that they all have checkbox, ID, optional flags, and this kind of stuff. So now we are going to do analyze. So analyze is going to analyze that all those moving parts from tasks back to constitution are actually adhering to each other. For every task, there is a requirement, and all the requirements are adhering to constitution and this kind of stuff. So it's going to run it, and then it's going to highlight gaps that it found or not found, and ask us what we want to do with those. The next step after that is going to be of implementing and actually writing code. So let's see what the analysis brings. The four files that it reads are the plans, sorry, the tasks, the plan, the spec, and the constitution. Okay, it found stuff. Okay, first of all, we have high priority that must be resolved before implementing. TDD violation in phase two. It says that we are not doing tests before code, and that's a clear violation. It has suggested fix. We, in the tasks, we actually should write tests first and then implement after tasks. Do we love it?
It's fine.
We love it.
Yeah, for this particular case, it's fine.
Oh, no, we want TDD. We love it that it's going to write the test first. We definitely want it. And then recommended before implementation, medium, file location consistency, okay, nice. Smooth transition unidentified, okay. Network latency edge case, fine. And then low priority, should improve later. Duplication of tasks, consider merging, and untestable success criteria, okay. Recommend the high priority should be fixed, and then medium priority should be fixed, and what's not, I want to fix them all. So fix them all.
And make no mistakes.
Make no mistakes. Absolutely. That's exactly this type of prompt. That's exactly this kind of prompt. Okay, so now it aligns the all three artifacts, the plan, the tasks, the plans, and the specs, and make sure that they are aligned. Right, it's going to check the order to make sure that the tests are actually reading first, because it was violation of constitutional principle. I love it how it found it and actually flagged it. This is great. Okay, it's going to do some clarifications on its way. Okay. Do we want to plug in another MCP for our Pro Max UI UX?
I would love it. Yeah. This Pro
okay.
Max UI. I would not MCP. It's just a workflow.
Okay. How do we do
I
that?
believe it's even I think it's a skill now. So go to this website, go there,
yes,
GitHub.
That's what I'm doing. Yes.
And bring installation directive. I think it's still at least in Windsurf, it's still workflow, so it's /command.
Yeah. So yeah, we need to install it first, right? Because yes, yeah, we need to install it first. How do we do that? It's so beautifully designed that I have no idea how to actually use it. Love it.
It's horrible. Yeah. So don't read website. Go to
yeah. I'm going to
go
GitHub.
to GitHub.
Yep. Yeah. I'm going to GitHub. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now version 2 is actually a skill. Again, there is bunch of using CLI npm install. Oh my god. Okay. Directly include code with 2 commands. Plugin. Okay. Perfect. That's exactly what we need. Okay. So those are plugins. Okay, it fixed all the stuff that we need to fix, and now install this. So, Victor, as UI UX is your thing, you explain what it actually does.
So, in most of the cases, when you see the website that is generated through agents, unless you telling it something to do differently, it will look the same. You will see a lot of influence for some reasons of the, I know we all we're all responsible for this stuff. Trying to translate the Oleg Sinkov memes phrases, because majority of the internet websites at some point were looking black and using, even right now I'm looking to Riverside and it is black and purple and this type of stuff. So because the models were pre-trained on the most sophisticated most sophisticated data set, which is internet, and at some point they were trained a lot on the website, so that's why they biased towards building something. Even see right now this accept edits on it still uses like a purple scheme, so they somehow, all these models and agents, they bias towards using purple colors. So this UI UX Pro Max name is incredible. It is a set of recommendations and actually collected and handpicked by people who are building websites, and how to use different style and different color schemes for particular use website. So say we're building SaaS dashboard, there would be recommendations of what kind of colors to use, fonts, typography, um, comparing. So for example, you can see here, it can search like glass morphism, meaning that it will be using liquid glass style design forms, or you can use schemomorphism when the different elements will resemble of kind of like real world objects and things like that. You see, right now it read a lot of alternative considered, read a lot of different css frameworks and how they influence different style. For example, when you look some websites, you can definitely see it was built with the bootstrap from Twitter bootstrap css, or Tailwind also has built-in color schemes that you can pick up. And this framework allows to influence in providing specifications or providing some sort of like recommendations, what not to use. Um, Usually, you can do this if you have a little bit of the what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like a taste to different things.
Preference.
Preference, yes, thank you. But I would try to sound like more sophisticated, kind of like, and you notice this as a person, not AI, when you will be using the website that is thought out. Like you can definitely distinguish, saying, yeah, that website feels premium. You have like a nice hero image that explains what it is and stuff like that. There's certain design choices for designing um, certain type of applications. So they have a whole collection of AI assisted like a chatbots, and what kind of design elements needs to be there. If we're talking about like a messaging apps, or they will, you also can include this um, in this in this workflow. So it's kind of fun. So I was building my tutorial, so I wanted to also look premium. So I said there's use this. It's called parallax, meaning that there's different objects. Like there's a little bit of kind of like the 3D dimensions and how they would move. Some I even like specifically I would try to see how these things can be pushed. I said, okay, so I want to this animation look premium and expensive, and it went in like the talk to LLM a little bit. What does it mean? So it can query the library of the tools. It's pretty cool. I recommend you, if you want to quickly spice up your AI assisted website with a little bit of taste and a little bit of nice, sophisticating looking. Like for example, this website, it screams that it was written in AI. I didn't have a chance yet to scroll down, for example, like see how this, and I already re spent a little bit time making this nicer, like smaller, small interactions. See these animations. If you hover, see kind of all these kind of things. I did this manually before this framework was introduced to us. Now I want to rebuild this website using this framework and using the expertise of all the modern designers and stuff like that.
Okay, drum roll. We are ready to implement.
So we spent already 1 hour and 10 minutes, and we still not
yeah, I
implemented
knew
it.
that you are going to rant about it, and let me run it, and then I will rebuttal your rant about not
Yeah.
writing code for an entire hour. Um,
Villariba and Villabaggio.
yes, they
if you
are
know what I
already
mean.
writing code.
Yeah. Again, you can vibe it
Okay, so now
faster.
let's talk about vibing it faster and what's not.
Yeah.
Do you remember one of the best technology books out there called Head First Java?
Yeah.
Yes. So the first chapter about object-oriented programming has a very colorful description of a competition because between Java, object-oriented developer, and C, procedural developer. They were in a competition of delivering a project where the stakes were very, very high. The ultimate prize was an iron chair for whoever
True.
did it better. And at first, who took the lead when the project started?
Say it again.
Who was in the lead in the beginning of the project, delivering the first features?
I don't know.
The procedural
Oh,
developer, of course.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see
Because
what
it
you're
was
saying.
very hard, very easy to deliver features, and the object-oriented developer had to deal with abstractions and writing the data structures and all this kind of stuff. But as the project continued, and there were more and more requirements, sometimes contradicting the previous requirements, there was refactoring to be done. What happened then?
In this case, the people who start doing this functional and approach, they would need to spend more time refactoring because you juggling bigger chunks of things rather than rewiring components.
Spaghetti code and what's not,
Yep.
obviously. So, who do you think won the iron chair?
Judges still out because but
Oh, no,
essentially,
no,
okay,
no.
yeah,
I
like
mean,
object oriented in the component based the approach is definitely one because this is how we doing things now.
exactly. But who got the chair?
uh I
The
don't know.
boss's secretary.
Boss's secretary. Who was the
Of course,
secretary?
of course. Uh, uh, the boss's secretary got the chair. But yeah, yeah.
I
What
didn't
we
understand this reference.
Okay, never mind. It was a joke from the book. It's not me.
uh
Yeah. So yeah. No, taking the analogy to our world, it's very, very similar to the difference between vibe coding and spec-driven development. We could probably have something working by now if we just vibe code it. The real question is, was it what we wanted it to be? And unless we either did something simplistic that we really didn't care about how it actually works and what's the design and what are the features, and we were like, oh, that looks good to us, whatever it was done, or we wrote a prompt that was like hundreds and hundreds lines long, describing in detail everything that we want in a first try successfully. Probably we wouldn't be very pleased with the result of our vibe coding session as of now, although we would have something much, much sooner. The slower process to get to the implementation phase is critical to capture our intent and to bridge this chasm between what's in our heads to what we are going to get in the code in the code. Where is it? Right there. In the code in a couple of minutes. Where is my devil's advocate?
Uh, I mean, I
You're
agree with you.
struck with my rhetorics, I guess.
I agree with you on this because I am roughly came from the same time of software development. So we were around the same time with like object oriented programming, and we know that this is the right thing. And I think we agree because we see complexity of the things that your general big projects, they're not just something that you build one page website. It's lots of components, a lot of things. So that's why I'm not the right person to argue with about this, because I'm totally agree, because it's always slow start. It's always we need to slowly go down the hill, and after that cover whole the field. You know what I mean? If I'm
Yep.
making this reference. So it's not about who's just like having the my friend and my former boss and mentor used to have this saying about the boys with the jetpacks, or with some jet engines in their asses. They jumping to the things and making things work faster. So we still see like whole wipe code generation of developers. So what we want to do, we want to build something, because like I said, I was not joking about age. Our brains are not like this anymore. We cannot have all this context in our brain, so we need to store it somewhere. So that's why having this like a written documentation, write comments, even for ourselves, like who wrote this shit, and after that you look into your git blame and
Git
say, oh,
blame.
I know this
Yep.
guy, I know
Yep.
this guy, I know who wrote this. um,
Yep.
Yesterday there was a funny meme picture saying about now your cursor can spend like can cover 2000k bugs faster than it used to be. There was a question, who wrote those bugs? Who wrote those bugs? You did.
Yeah. Yeah.
You wrote this bug.
Yeah. Yeah.
So essentially I agree with you in terms of like having this library of the things. And also I think we spoke about this last time, but having this specification outlined properly makes this code recyclable. You can throw away the code and rewrite this in the enterprise ready Java. Java
Absolutely.
is an enterprise highly available enterprise production platform. So throw away
So Victor, let's check now your knowledge. Pop quiz. Your
pop quiz.
knowledge of SpecKit. What parts we need to rewrite in order to convert this project to Java?
In Constitution, we just need to put something in Constitution.
Absolutely wrong.
Okay.
Constitution, to remind you, doesn't talk about tech stack
Okay.
at all. It
What is
talks
the what
about
is the
principles. The place where we actually get into the tech stack is only in planning, and this is
planning?
one before tasks. So we go with constitution, with specs, without mentioning technology at all. Constitution are governing principles, and spec is what we are building, and only planning is the research into technical details of what technology are we using. So
So
yep.
in I'm trying to also establish mental model for myself. In Kiro, for example, we have a steering. In particular steering rule, we can define the spec, the tech stack. Sorry, not the spec, the technical stack technology. So we do have the special rule. How we can do we need to invoke this command specifically to change this?
Oh no, we
Um,
can just go ahead into our planning doc right
uh-huh.
here, right? We can go to plan,
hmm
and then just edit it right there. It's a
it has
markdown.
like a technical context, right?
Here we go, right? Right there, language and version and storage and target platform and all
hmm
that. And we go into the details of what do we want to use as technology and
But
how we're going to implement it.
can you like make LLM to fill this up for you?
This is done by LLM. I didn't
Okay.
touch it, obviously.
hmm
I didn't write it. You were right here with me. Did you see me typing this stuff
That's
in?
why I'm asking. It kind of like feels like a bit kind of like when you take this out of your uh, out of your sleeve.
Oh, no, no. Oh, boom. Oh, look at that. Oh my God. Wow. That was unexpectedly nice.
Okay, so the color, try to use, okay, disconnect it and sync inactive.
Okay, what happened? Ah, okay. It was probably not for us. It was work in progress. But did you see the nice UI? No
Yeah,
purple.
no
Absolutely no
purple. It
purple.
was pretty nice. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I love it. I love it. Yeah. So I didn't fart it from my sleeve. The plan. That was a result of slash specify dot specky dot plan command,
Mm-hmm.
in which we, if you remember, discussed what technology should we use. And I asked you, you said it doesn't matter. I let it run. And they're like, oh, it doesn't matter as long as it's Java. Very Henry Ford of you, but it was too late. So there is
Mm-hmm.
no Java in the plan. But of course, in our we can always go back and run this command again and specify that we do actually want Java with Quarkus, with Spring Boot, whatever. The plan will change. And all we need to go from there is to regenerate tasks. And the tasks will be now not only adhere to the same spec and the same constitution, but to the new plan, and then just run it, and it will regenerate the entire thing in Java. So this is the big thing about it. We had a context cleanup, which again we couldn't care less. We couldn't care less because all our context is actually formalized into the docs that correlate to the different phases of SpecKit, so it can just pick up where it left and check what tasks are still to be implemented and pick it right there, which is very, very cool. Okay, we are, as you already saw, we were very close. We have the UI ready, and now it just implements other aspects like reconnectivity, as you can see, and others. So we should be ready very, very soon. Okay, status components, error state UI. This is already the corner cases, right? The errors and the stuff that the reconnection, yeah, the auto reconnect functionality and all that. This is the uh, use cases with lower priority. Okay, let's see what's happening now. Okay, it keeps running the tests to ensure that everything works. We have 100 tests, which is very respectable. Um, and now it adds more tests because it's going to implement the auto reconnect functionality. So it needs to write the test first because Constitution, TDD.
Mm-hmm. Do you have your server runs on the correct port?
My you mean the
Emulation.
simulator?
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
simulator.
they run on the defaults. The backend is 8080 and the front end is 3000. So once it's done and we will see the UI, we'll be able to type in the IP, which will be the host and the port, and hopefully it will just connect. Okay, let's see. It runs. Boom. Okay, the color is not detected. Do I see it correctly? Okay, here's our IP, right? So we do local host 8080.
To make
Test
sure that it
connection.
understand the port, that's maybe not a problem. Like
Yeah, maybe. So I don't see anything. Oh,
invalid
okay.
IP forward.
It said invalid IP. Yes,
Yeah.
invalid. Okay, all right. So it makes sense, right? Because no one expected host and port there because we are using the simulator. But
Mm-hmm.
what worries me more is that detected color doesn't work, right? This is not nice. So we have some work to do. Um, Okay, let's see what's going to happen now. But the UI I do dig. No purple at all. And yeah, pretty modern and sleek. And yeah, it looks nice. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Mm, it thinks that the problem is in the preview and the host port is invalid ID. Yes, exactly. The video needs to call play after. Okay, it thinks that it found the problems pretty easy. Let's see if that works. Okay, it added the fallback for host and port, and fixing the playback issue. Okay, and I need to find something on a distinct color. Okay. I got a very orange box here. That's my espresso bars, protein bars. 1 bar, 3 espressos.
And it also has a protein.
Yes. It also
Send me send me link. I wanna.
Of course. No, this is good, like for our
Snacking.
night coding sessions when we need to keep awake because we have a conference talk in the morning. Okay, we don't need a new one. Whoop! What happened? Yeah, here we go. Okay, it took it down. Why it took it down? Because it's not done yet. Okay, now it says that it's done. Okay. The color is still black, but at least localhost 8080 should work now. It was black before. Look at that. This is perfect. Yeah. Okay, so
check the lamp. Check the bump.
Yes. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're going to take a sneak peek here. And okay, what we need is to take this one out and then do this and then switch to our where is it, localhost? Here. This is our front end. Okay, perfect.
I see it's already.
It changed, right? It changed to the right color. But
just let's test it with.
Yeah, I'm on it. Give me 1 second. I'm here struggling a little bit with. Okay, here we go. Okay, so what we want to do is this, and what we want to do is this. Okay, and now we can test. We don't need the iPad tester, right? And now where is my orange? You know what? Let's do something else.
Maybe you need to do because it can be tricky.
Let's try it white. There we go. It's getting whiter, and the bulb getting whiter. Oh, you know what? I have a hue control. I'm going to make the entire room green now, and it's going to change everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another way to do it. Okay.
Modern problems require modern solutions.
Exactly. We're doing IoT all the way. A Baruch office. I need something terrible like absolutely green. Where is it? Or we can do this. Here we go.
It works.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, it's not entirely. It at least it changes. It's a it's nice. It works.
Okay, let's see if there are just like stupid colors that I can change, like all the bulbs. Okay, I know what I can do. I need to do this, right? Here we go.
I think the algorithm that we use for recognizing colors can be tweaked. Depends on what kind of library is used. But it's fine. Kind of like it's...
No, it's... but okay, you saw it working. I mean, that's... you saw it working. And let's change it back to purple and see it getting to purple again. Here we go. Boom. Ha! Nice.
It does work. So
Okay, and this is our final kind of the final project. This is what we see,
So
right?
what I trying to point out, it's almost make we spent a little bit of time on the setting things up, but after that it was a really smooth sailing. In the past, I can tell you, like it's our kind of like a litmus test. We were uncovered so many things. We had to go and put different requirements for this application, not to do this, not to do that.
So
This is
what we
much
did
that's
is
much better.
what I mentioned earlier. We kind of had this context in our head, or maybe written something in like a document, and we went through the entire process. Frankly, if you think about it, in our head beforehand, without help of framework or agent, and then we had this huge prompt that we were dumping on the agent that had already everything. It's like we did all this, right? It's like we
Mm,
did all this in our head and then dump it and pray that we didn't forget anything because there were absolutely no feedback loop. We already got what we already saw what we got in the end. Now, this is the structured process to get to the same result interactively with feedback loops, with verification, with asking clarification questions, and all this kind of stuff. And this is what makes it so cool.
yeah, yeah, that's very nice. So, um, once again, we're going to be next week in person. If you happen to be in Stockholm, stop by, hang out, and ask some questions. We're going to be showing all sorts of things. I think we have a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Ambitious,
Diverse.
ambitious. Ambitious is not probably the right word. That's because we eat ambitious projects for breakfast. I think we do have very, not even polarized, what I'm looking for. It's going to be very interesting look, because I will be showing a different approach. It's same approach. We're gonna stick to spec driven development for the rest this month at least, until something new will comes up. But so far we're getting very good results, especially if you're getting this result for something where context window, and including context window here, is also important. I will be showing open spec, and I am getting like more and more. Um, what's the word I'm looking for? Mm,
Enchanted.
Convinced, not the Claude knows all sorts of this words, like galvanized. I'm getting more convinced that open spec is actually can do not worse if you prefer using alternative tools. We're gonna compare one of the tools that has this feature built in, Kiro. So it's very ambitious. Yeah, it works. It works. It's probably we can tune it the library. Also maybe it's because of the camera, resolution of the camera, and the color interpretation is different. Things like that. Um, uh, so three tools. We're gonna do spec kit, we're gonna do open spec, and we're gonna do Kiro with spec driven development, building the same application. We have a pretty good idea what we want, where we want to be. We have a pretty good idea how this should work. And rest of this is going to be magic, like Mark says, but it's not magic. We will uncovering some of the tricks, and the video will be posted after anyways. If you will not be able to join us in person, the video will be recorded, and we can ask our questions in LinkedIn and the Twitter and Blue Sky. So with this, it was Agent Johnson,
Special Agent Johnson, no
no
relation.
relations, and we hope you stick around for the next episodes. Maybe I will bring we will bring an alternative version. We will bring an alternative version with the open spec and Kiro.
and
So
and then we will repack spec it into skills
open spec.
spec it. We're going to convert
You
uh,
already have it. You already did this.
yeah, no, but we need to show it. We're going to
Okay.
convert a spec it to skills, and then we're going to pack it into a Tessel tile for your easy of use.
Yep. Yep. Stick around, stay tuned. Thank you. If anyone, let me check if anyone actually was there. Like, yeah, 3 concurrent users. We still have some of the
Still got it.
people. Yeah,
Still got it.
we didn't plan to go live, but it was unexpected and it's fun. So see you around. All right, take care.
Bye bye.